PD, but at this point, protesters there in downtown LA and this group that has been marching through the streets of Boyle Heights are headed that way. That's the latest overhead up in Sky 5. I'll send it back to you in the studio. Thank you. Let's fly that way, Jim. What I was just saying, the 101 freeway, the people over the bridge.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope the show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. Okay, me dear, we got to get in some things, guys. We got some things to talk about. There's a lot of craziness going on. A lot of protests that are still going on throughout the country right now. Throughout the country. It's absolutely insane, but we are here to cover it and talk about it and then some. So do me a favor, okay? Do me a solid love. Before we get started, hit that like button down below, crush it, do what it do, hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick, woo, look at all those people. Oh my Lord. That's a lot of people. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, please, and thank you. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Okay? Make sure you do that. All right? Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is random. All right? Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com. Pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys. All right. We're here for the action. We're here for the information. There's a lot that's been going on since I left y'all, and there has been some new stuff that has been popping off. In case you didn't know, okay, there is a full-on protest going on in LA right now. It is right now there's a nationwide ice out protest. There are walkouts that we were just talking about earlier today that have been going on in schools. There are protests going on throughout the country in various areas because honestly, what happened in Minneapolis, they did a blackout type of thing, like they did an ice out strike type of thing, and it was successful. So again, they started another one. So we got another situation. Now it is a nationwide ice out protest. So the likes of LA, of course, there's Minneapolis, there's protests going on, or at least walkouts that were happening earlier today in Atlanta. I mean, you get ready. There's going to be a bunch of protests just sparking off over the course of this weekend because now it's the weekend. Ain't nobody got to go pick up the kids from school. A lot of these people don't have work on the weekends, etc. Okay, so they get to chill and protest and congregate and do whatever the hell they want to do. So again, guys, this is the start of a possible long weekend. I'll just say that. It is possibly a long weekend coming forth. I hope this stays absolutely peaceful, but the last time we saw a protest of any kind in LA, it got a little crazy. It got a little crazy, but as soon as the sun went down, everyone went back home. Everyone dispersed. So I'm hoping that this stays somewhat peaceful, okay? I'm hoping it stays peaceful, period. But the thing is that one, near the end, it wasn't very peaceful. I'm going to be real, okay? I guess the hot dog guy is going to try to feed some protesters. I guess everybody got to eat, right? But that, of course, they've been doing that a lot lately. I'm going to be real. They've been doing a lot of live feeds and then they keep cutting them out, which is a little annoying, but it's fine. There's other places that we can look at this stuff. Okay. But like I said, they keep like KTLA, they keep going live and then they cut it out and then they go live again and then they cut it out and it's really frustrating, but it is what it is. So I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning of this video so we can see it for ourselves. Even I don't know if you guys know who Hassan Piker is. Okay, he's a commentator, that kind of thing. He's even live, boots on the ground, in walking. Excuse me, walking in this protest as well. He's live as well. Okay, this was live. This is not live anymore. It was live just a second ago, and then they cut out the live feed. All right, but that's what they've been doing lately. They've been going live, and then they cut out the live, and then they start it up again and then they cut out the live. So it is what it is. Okay. But Hassan Piker is also out there as well. So we might hop over to his stream and see what he's seeing boots on the ground as well. Because, you know, he's out there walking the streets with all the other Los Angelines. Is it Los Angelines? Maybe it is. I don't know. But they're out there. As you guys to see, let's take a listen. Is it Angelinos? I don't know. I don't live in LA, but okay. Angelinos. Thank you guys. Thank you. Los Angelinos. ¿Qué pasa, cabrón? So,
okay, 1 minute.
This is what has been happening recently. Okay. And of course, we'll pull up a few other things. So just grant me a little bit of grace. Rich Buddy just said, "I live in Hollywood. I'm not going outside." I don't blame you. I would stay indoors. If I had the choice, I would definitely stay indoors. Just being real, not trying to be mean, not saying that I don't believe, trust Los Angelinos. See, I can learn things too. But at the same time, I'd rather be safe rather than sorry. That's just my thoughts.
Ready.
So let's take it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's live right now too. Let's go and check that out. Come on. As you guys can see, they're showing it's a congregation of people. They're definitely out there. They are definitely out there. Oh, actually, this is a little bit better. Take a look at this. Hold on, guys. We're gonna look at Hassan Piker's one too, but
yes,
take a look at this.
Los Angeles River.
This is somebody else. I don't know who this is. Jaywalking TV. Shout out to Jaywalking TV. He's live. He's filming this protest as well. Just so you guys know. Los Angeles with the Angelinos. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what was wrong with the audio, but audio is doing just fine right now, baby. Audio is doing just fine now.
No, I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yes, we are in Little Tokyo.
Okay, we're going to come back to that just to see what they're seeing, boots on the ground. Obviously, there's it looks like there is protests going on. Wow, there's protests going on in Austin, Texas. While they're wow. Take a look at this. This is in Austin, Texas.
Sorry. What are your names? Oh, I'm Melanie. Okay, nice to meet you. And yours? I'm Farah. Oh, nice to meet you. Yeah, Farah, and this is Dylan.
Okay, we're gonna have a white flag.
Oh, yeah, that is right. As long as I look you guys. Yes, you do. Oh, there's move on this side this time. Ready? Okay. I'll hold it for you. Yeah, you just look at me the whole time. If you. Perfect. Okay. First, just for the record, we'll have you say and spell your name, please.
Oh, so hi, I'm Melanie. It's Melani.
Okay.
Elizabeth. Oh, do you want to
Generic spelling?
yes, Elizabeth.
E-L-I-Z-A-B-T. Okay. Perfect. How does it feel when you look around and see the amount of people that are here?
Well, it feels good to see that there's actually like a community who cares about, immigrants and, their rights and just their livelihoods in general, I think.
Really proud. I feel like when we're in the States, you kind of get lost in translation whenever you're like in your day-to-day life. So being able to see everybody here stick out for what's right and against inhumanity and the things that we're facing at a day-to-day basis is really important, and it means a lot to us.
Sort of talk to me about what is going on.
Well, from what it seems like, there's, a group of people, ICE, that are kind of like using violence, not against just immigrants, but also citizens of the United States. And it's not right, regardless of what your opinions on immigration are. It shouldn't be a violent group that's targeting, different groups of people, regardless of if they're here as immigrants or citizens. It kind of feels like they're getting away with not abiding by the law, which is never right, I think, in any circumstance.
And how does what we've seen with ICE, how they might be treating people, how does it make you feel when you see those videos?
Disgusted, of course. I think first things first, as Americans, we have the right to uphold the Constitution, and that is not being had. I feel like, in other words, it's also just so scary. Like, for me to just be a American citizen, but yet because of the way that I look, to be targeted in such a disgusting way, genuinely infuriates me, but also saddens me so much because it's just like, just because of the color of my skin does not mean that I'm not an
And it
American
also just
citizen.
feels so sorry. It also feels like so personal because, you know, I look at these people being targeted and it almost feels like they could be like my aunts and uncles. It feels like, you know, you feel kind of related to them in a way. Yeah.
It's because we can't air bad words. So if you don't mind waiting, I'd love for you to re-say that. Okay, if you don't mind re-saying what you just said, I'm so sorry.
Her too, or
No, I think it started more when you were talking.
well, yeah, it just feels. Oh my gosh, it feels really personal almost because you know you look at the people being targeted, and I just
Volume
feel
just dropped like crazy.
with them almost because they could be like my aunts, my uncles.
But that's going on in Austin right now. That's going on in Austin. Like, you got, downtown Eugene. This is all happening everywhere, guys. Eugene. Happening in Eugene right now as we speak. I mean, I don't know if YouTube is tripping right now or something. Maybe that's what it is. But I got things cranking right now. Yeah, I don't know why this is all the way on the ground like this, but I'm gonna move it back a little bit. Still on the ground. Nationwide, y'all. You get it. You get the general consensus here. There's also protests going on in San Francisco. San Francisco. Yeah, that's also going on. Let me show you San Francisco a little bit. All right. Oh, I need to get back there because I left my heart there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I'm sorry. Just one dad joke, you know. I'm allowed at least one. One a show. But people are getting together out in San Francisco. Yeah. So they're in San Francisco doing the thing. Okay. Thank you, Cheyenne. You're like, don't be sorry. Honey, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry at all. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So they're starting to get together. This is I scrolled it back like an hour. Okay. Because This, for some odd reason, goes black after a while. It cuts to black. I don't know why. But they are out there. Protests going on throughout the country. Crazy, right? And it just keeps getting more and more interesting. Hold on. That's San Francisco. Okay. Let's see. Where else? Where else? Where else, man? Where else? Well, let's go check out Hassan Piker real quick. Let's check him out for a second, because he's out there in LA. Don't know if he's done. We can show a little bit of him out here interacting, talking to people.
That out. I don't know. You want me to hit up my phone?
Sure.
It's on the truck.
Oh my God. What's up, brother? All right. Slow down, Hassan. You're trying to get to the taco truck? No, I'm trying to get to the truck where the PSL truck is to see if they're still doing demonstrations, if they're still speaking. But if you come to the front, we can try. I know I'm trying to catch up.
Are you chatting with some PSL folks?
Just the PSL account.
Okay. Oh, the PSL account.
Yeah, they're the ones who DM'd
Yeah.
saying like, oh, you want to speak
okay.
at the...
Let me...
I mean, it's all good if it doesn't work out. I don't really care necessarily, but... Hi, where are you guys coming from? Oh, okay. Is that where the truck's going?
That's where the truck is going.
Mariachi Plaza? Do you know where that is?
Yeah, Mary.
Toxic masculinity with regular frequency. So that, you know what, but it's for her purpose, because like the internet is a really bad place.
Oh, really? It's
So
been great to me.
I'm saying like,
no
I'm
problem.
helping you up.
Yeah.
I've known Caroline for a decade at this point. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, he's my boyfriend's boyfriend, so
Yeah. It's true.
Yep,
It's true.
boyfriend's boyfriend. He's always concerned about him too.
Yeah, Will is...
I honestly, it's so loud. It's so loud. I honestly wanted to see if he was like talking to people about the, like the protests, why they're there, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, he's there. He's showing up, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was hoping that he would be like talking to people, you know what I mean? Aside from just like, oh, I know this person because of this, that, and the third, like, actually talking about the actual protest. Let's hear this.
Only black chatter. I'm like, no, motherfucker.
Bro, nah, you're my GOAT, bro. I love what you do. I love what it means to me, you, everybody, bro. You're the GOAT, bro. Fuck Asman, fuck all the haters, bro. Yo, my GOAT, bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah, let's do it. What's up?
Big NMS. We're gonna miss them though. They're gonna go that way. So we might as well go this way. They're going west on First, which is that way.
Yeah, when are we gonna get Jason?
We're perpendicular
Jason,
right now. Or sorry,
Jason, NMS is out here. You're not out here. He's too busy being famous.
Big NMS right here. Big NMS.
He's. I don't know what the heck.
parallel right now.
What's up, man?
Better find a way to find that revenue.
He's gonna ask, will you consider taking that show? Yeah. You got a socialist right there. She's gonna make it. Yeah. Because I'm with her right now. No, I know. We were talking before. I would love to. That's my dream. My dream is that we have robust, like we have a working, fast, and efficient metro system. I would.
Yeah. So he's just out there taking photos of people. Okay. I figured it would have been a different outcome. You know what I mean? I figured it would be a little bit different, him just talking to people about the protest, blah, blah, blah. But he, that obviously did not happen. Now, we got to take a look at this, okay? Because Don Lemon did speak out, okay, after he was released From my understanding, he was released on bond, without bail. So he was released. He's apparently been released for a while. And so he made his first court appearance today in LA. And, there's a bunch of people that spoke out. I think it was Jane Fonda spoke out. Mayor Karen Bass spoke out as well. I may throw those up here in just a little bit, but I do want to share these with you guys because this just happened. And it's funny because a lot of people gave up. A lot of people ended their lives. A lot of people ended the thing because they thought he wasn't going to come out and speak. But I knew for a fact he was going to speak. So I kind of held out and waited. And then suddenly, lo and behold, he shows up and, speaks out. So let's take a look at this.
Don, over here. Don, over here. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Clear the way to the podium. Thank you. Thank you.
Hold on. Jasmine just said Don to speak at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern, Central, Pacific. When exactly? I'd like to know that too, because if he's going to do that in the next 20 minutes, then I want to know. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then cool. In 19 minutes, he's going to speak again. But at the same time, let me know. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? Okay, bet. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Great. So he's going to be speaking in like 19 minutes. Where, though? Because he does speak here. It's very short, what he says, but where? Where could we find that information? I'd like to know what that is, right? He's married, and that might have been his husband. I've only seen his husband like 2 or 3 times, so I don't have him burned in my brain. But that could have been his husband that he was standing next to that kind of held him back, trying to find the podium of microphones and all that. Okay, so he's supposed to be speaking on his channel. Word. Okay, great. We'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye out for that. Okay, but he does speak here, so let's listen to this. All right.
I need sunglasses.
You know for a fact he was going to talk. There's no way he wasn't going to talk. You realize that if he didn't say anything at walking out of this courthouse, that would have been showing that he's been like muffled. But for a fact he's going to be like, this is not going to stop me from talking. You know how it is. Come on now. You know how it is. You know how it be. So it'd be ridiculous if he didn't speak. So I'm really glad that he did, because it shows that he's like, I'm not backing down. I ain't stopping. I'm going to keep talking my talk. I'm going to keep saying what I need to say. I'm going to talk wireless on this microphone because I'm not tethered to nothing. I can do what I want, when I want. You know what I'm saying? I know he doesn't say it like that. He's going to say it a lot more smooth and, Don Lemony. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying, right? So in less than a little over 15 minutes from now, he's going to be speaking on his show. So we will be watching that for sure. Let's go.
Good. How are you? Wow. Can everybody hear me? Are you guys set? Everybody ready? So look, I want to thank everybody for their support. It truly means the world to me. I have no idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen anything. I have spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I'd been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silenced. I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all.
And just like that, he done.
Okay, so we just, as I mentioned a moment.
And just like that, he done. Okay. So obviously this is from earlier, but yeah, there is, as you can see, there's anti-protest going on, or was going on, in Minneapolis. Like I said, there is this protest going on everywhere. Okay. Let me show you a little bit of let's see. Hold on. That is San Francisco's trash. So we're going to go bye-bye to that. Let's see Eugene. Oops. Let's see Eugene real quick. Did something happen? Check out Austin, Texas. And the sun is down in Austin, Texas. So I'm wondering what's going on, if they're going to start, if there's like a curfew. So this is in Austin, Texas. It just keeps on going. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, it's crazy how many people are actually, like, there's a lot of people that are advocating for this, right? That are, pushing, reposting things online, about this nationwide shutdown. It seems like it's a lot more, like some places there is a massive turnout. In some places there's just like a little bit of a turnout, which is understandable. I get it. Not every place, not every city is going to be for this, and not every city is going to be, not for this, right? But it is interesting, right? Well, let's see what's going to happen now. So we got a little bit over 10 more minutes until Don Lemon's apparently supposed to be speaking on his show, which I know a lot of us are looking forward to, hearing what he's got to say, what his experience was. I'm sure it's going to be a flood of people going over there and checking things out. But that should be interesting for sure. Yeah, some areas, man, it's cold. But like sunny California, LA, it's like 80 something degrees outside and the sun is still out. You see what I'm saying? But once again, this is in Austin right here. We're going to hop over to some other spots here too. Check out some other spots here real quick. See what else is going on. It's interesting because let's see. Protest out in City Hall. Let's see what this is.
No peace, we want ice off our streets! No justice, no peace, we want ice off our streets! No justice, no peace, we want ice off our streets! No justice, no peace, we want ice off our streets!
I also want to make this abundantly clear. Like this one is an organized protest. Okay. Like this one, you know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of places, right? That have like organized these kind of protests where they block off streets, they let the people do what they do, you know, organized, right? They get to protest, they get to do their thing, no issues for the most part. No one gets hurt. They get to say what they need to say. They get their voice heard, right? But no one gets hurt. Let's take a listen to this. A question I have for you guys as well, real quick, is they said a whole shutdown. They said this. Hold on, let me pull up what I'm seeing here. This is just one of them. Let me show you this real quick. It's ice out nationwide. Okay, nationwide shutdown. No school, no work, no shopping. This is supposed to be happening today. Did you guys go to work today? No judgment. I'm just curious. Did you guys go to work today? Did anybody not go to work today? Not because they're like sick or they got a little like little cough. Okay. I'm just wondering, did you go shopping today? Did you buy anything? Did you go into a store and buy something? It's okay. No judgment here. Were you an active member of this shutdown? Because I'm wondering how effective it was nationwide. You know, in Minneapolis, it was successful, but that was just one concentrated area, and they're able to do what they did, right? But here, you know, like nationwide, I'm just wondering who didn't go to work, who didn't go to school, and who definitely didn't go shopping. And I'm saying you didn't even go out for a pack of cigarettes or a pack of gum. Just a question. Just a question. Like I said, no judgment here at all. None whatsoever.
Wondrous says anger sometimes fuels action, but let it be positive action. A few cuss words here and there help too. There's a time for it. You know, I've said it all the time. You know, I try not to cuss, but there's times that it's necessary, I think, to get your point across.
Like when Kristi Noem lied to the general public about what happened to Alex Preddy. Yeah, you heard me curse. Because that's the only way I could express how ridiculously appalling those lies were that came out of her damn mouth, right? Not every day do I drop the F-bomb on this show. Not every day. But when somebody does something like that in real time, yeah, there's no other way. There's no other words to describe. You know what I'm saying? There's no other words to describe it. You feel me?
Celeste does it all the time. The cussing. Hi, Pippi. Says power to the people. Pippi says Minneapolis had another amazing protest today. Spawn says, I think we have strong feelings about what we are going through. Yeah, like I tell you guys, it's so frustrating because I never imagined that we'd have to be out here doing this. You know, and that's the crazy part. That's the part that gets you angry because you feel so hopeless. So
I mean, you know, I knew that some semblance of this was going to happen again. I just didn't know what it was going to come into in the form of. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know if it was going to come into the form of BLM happening again, if it was going to be, you know, if it was going to be anything, right? If it was going to be any of that, right? Like the old stuff in the first term. But I knew we were gonna be revisiting a lot of the old stuff, but it was just gonna be a little different, a little, like I said, it's the same show, just a new cast of characters. And we were, you know, it's like that favorite show you had, you know, and you kind of left it, like you were really into it for the first like 2 seasons, and then you walked away from it, and then it's like, imagine watching, it's like watching Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Walking Dead is still on the air, right? Like, they still making shows. They still doing, you know what I mean? They still doing that show. Imagine watching for the first 3 seasons, Carl, you know, all that, Walter, and all that. You're just loving the show. And then you just walk away from it for a while because you're like, meh. It's not the same anything, and it's not the same for me anymore, right? And then you turn it on now. You're like, who is what and what is who? Yeah, still got the Walking Dead. You still got the zombies and everything. But who's all these people? Okay, I know Michonne and I know Daryl, but who the F are all these? And I know Carol, but who are all these mother lovers? What the hell is going on? I don't know who. It's the same show, just different, new cast of characters. You have a few of your, you know, pillar characters that still stay the same, right? They're always there, but different cast. And you're like, when did this all happen? When did this all happen? What the is going on? Damn, this is amazingly weird. You know, that's exactly where we're at. We took 4 years off, and then now we're back. You know, we're back with the same show, but just a new cast of characters. Not much backstory either. They're just a new cast of characters. And you're like, damn. Okay, so it's not BLM this time. It's ICE now. Okay. It's not Republicans getting mad about wearing masks at public places anymore. Now they're mad about, you know, someone like Alex Preddy losing his life for owning a gun legally. You see what I'm saying? This is the world that we're living in. And everything's kind of flipped. Everything's, you know, yeah, it's like a Vanderpump. Yep, there we go. I don't even watch that show, but I know the title. It's kind of like a Vanderpump Rules reboot, or it's like a this season on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and you still have like the main girl, that one that sticks on, like holds on for dear life. Candy always on the show, or something like that, right? Nene gone, all the other people are gone, but you got a new cast of characters with one person, right? With one main character that's still in the show. You're like, damn, where did everybody else go? Right? That's what we're living in right now, which is insane. But let's see here. Let us see here. Don, we got to see if he's on his show yet. Not yet. If he is supposed to be. Yep, he is supposed to be speaking. He's supposed to be speaking in about a minute from now, allegedly. Okay. I know he has a tendency to say a specific time and then wait. You know what I mean? Nomadic Duck. I didn't hear anything yet about the New York Giants owner, but I'll look it up. We got a little bit of time. We got a little bit of time. One second. Let's look at this.
Notice a lot of businesses are closed.
Yeah, it's not just businesses, but we're talking about the potential for schools as well, students not going to school. This is because protests are happening all over Southern California and the nation. It still remains to see how big this is going to be, but that protest is called Ice Out Everywhere. We've got Mario Ramirez live in Echo Park with more on what we might expect. Mario, good morning.
Bob, Jane, good morning. And we're talking about a nationwide day of action. Activists are calling for a shutdown, no school, no work, and no shopping. Now, we've seen here in Echo Park some of that activity. Businesses have already announced that they're closing today. They won't be opening, like Canyon Coffee here in Echo Park. You can see the no ice signs here. Now, they are closing today, and this is not the only business. We've actually seen several here in this area that have made the same announcements, from restaurants and clothing stores to hair salons and coffee shop. Dozens of businesses, not only here, but in multiple cities, have voluntarily closed for the day in solidarity with the movement, and they're calling for this national shutdown, a general strike. And I'll have Howard Wells come over and show you this business right next door, the Glowing Cafe. And if you take a look at the sign here, you might not be able to read it in full, but it basically says that they are in support of this movement, but they will remain open today. You have to consider that many of these businesses are also weighing the fact that they could lose money. Their bottom line could be affected by this national strike. Now,
or they're seeing this as an opportunity to make money because other people are going to want to go somewhere and buy food, and they know that these other businesses are going to shut down, so they're looking at this opportunity to scoop a bag. I'm sorry. And I get it. Not every business can just shut off for a day, you know? Not every business could just shut off for a day. That's hundreds, thousands, potentially thousands of dollars that you're missing out. So, of course, you're going to be like, well, everybody needs to eat. Everybody needs a sandwich or a bowl of a bowl or some gist. So we're going to keep it open. But we stand with them in solidarity. Damn right. But we still need to make this money. I'm just being real. Think about it. It's like, oh, this place is closed. Hey, what about this place? It's sandwiches, smoothies, salads, bowls, and juices. Everything else on the block is closed. Let's go here. It's smart. Sorry. Shoot, it's a local mom and pop shop. I'm sure it is definitely not a franchise. I don't blame them for staying open. They got to survive too. You know what I'm saying? So I see that. I'm just saying, I can see how somebody would be like, no, this is perfect. Everybody gonna need to eat, and they're in the area and they're walking around. We open, shoot, they come in, we make money. But we stand with them though. We stand with them, you know? But I get it also. Not everybody can just have the privilege of shutting their entire business down, you know, and risk the possibility of not making any money at all, right? Not staying ahead of their needs financially and everything. So I get it. You know, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can afford that. Let's play a little bit
I want to
more.
mention that there are demonstrations that continue to happen here locally. So take a look, because these are demonstrations, rallies, protests that will be taking place as part of this national movement. They're scheduled at Pasadena City College from noon to 1 p.m., at Burbank City Hall from 12:30 to 1:30, and at LA City Hall beginning at 1 p.m. And while, again, some businesses are completely closing, others are staying open, and a lot of the flyers that we're seeing out here in Echo Park are highlighting that 1 p.m. demonstration at LA City Hall. So we expect that to be one of the largest today. And it'll also be interesting to see if some of these businesses that we are talking about here will be forced to close because they might not have the normal amount of workers for their operations. For now, that's the latest here in Echo Park this morning.
Let's see. We got a few other things to look at. Yeah, Austin, Texas is still doing their thing. Let's look at this.
Bianca Bono is standing by in Santa Ana, a community that has seen a significant increase in ICE activity. But we begin with Annabelle Munoz in downtown LA, where the crowds we just saw are taking over the streets in front of City Hall. Annabelle.
Hi, Colleen. Good afternoon. It started small just before 1 o'clock, but quickly grew. As you mentioned, from Air 7, it grew into the thousands. We've spoken with people who started at City Hall. They've just started moving right now, just marched past us toward Union Station. Heard they may be going to the Federal Detention Center nearby here in downtown Los Angeles, and people gathering under a unified banner protesting the actions of the federal government and protesting the actions of the Trump administration. Many saying that they're lifting up the names and the experiences of people from undocumented immigrants to U.S. citizens. Take a listen.
We mourn the killings of Alex Pretty, Renee Good, Keith Porter Jr., and the more than 30 people who have died in ICE custody since last January.
This is a view of the large crowd that started gathering early. This is from 7, and on the ground we talked with people who called out of work or school to be
Yeah,
here
I know Don Lemon's on. Hold on.
Many holding signs with the names of people who have been killed by on or off-duty federal officers or who have died in ICE custody.
Okay. Let us go and check out what Don Lemon has to say. This should be very interesting. Where is it at? Here we go. He's here.
It may have started with people having their due process rights violated on the streets, violently violated on the streets. But now they're trying to silence journalists, and I will not be silenced. And I think journalists should not be silenced. I think this is a very critical time for journalists in this country to stand up to this tyrannical administration. And look, journalists are going to be, I believe they can be the folks that save us. I actually believe that artists will be the people that save us as well. And that's why I'm here in Los Angeles, is to cover the artists who are exercising their freedom of expression rights and creating fantastic music. And so I'll explain to you in a moment what happened, because I was actually covering, I had just been on the red carpet at the Black Music Collective, the Grammy Black Music Collective, and we were talking about the power and the importance of representation in music and black music. I had just seen Ketanji Brown Jackson. I just waved hello to her as she walked by. She didn't want to do an interview. I saw, Pharrell and all of the wonderful artists who are contributing to what's good in this country, the very best. But so look, I have been, guys, a journalist for 30 years, if not more. I'm a man of a certain age. I always say old people be knowing. And the only job or profession that is protected in the Constitution, I believe, and in the very First Amendment, is a job that I do. It's a job that I have, and so many journalists around the world. So this is a moment for journalists, I believe, around the world. And I am so grateful to everyone who has voiced their support, who has put out statements, who has reached out to me, who has said, whatever you need financially, whatever support that you need. It has been overwhelming. And I do think right now that people understand that, again, this is a very critical time. And I hope that this continues, and to support not just me. If I can be the catalyst for or the inspiration for people to say, finally, stand up to the powers that be in our government, and also, quite frankly, having come from corporate media for a long time, to stand up to the gatekeepers, the corporations, and say, no, I am not going to bend the knee to this administration. I am not going to put on liars and insurrection deniers and election deniers. I'm not going to give my platform to those people. I'm not going to put people on television and give them a platform, people who come on just to lie and to offend and to insult people. It's insulting to the American people. This is not folly. It's not funny. This is not a game. If you look at any tyranny or any autocracy, any sort of dictatorship, the first thing they do is they get rid of the media. They try to silence the media. Ask Turkey about that, Erdogan. Ask Iran about that. Ask any country that has lost its way, that has been overtaken by a dictator. They get rid of the press first. And so we need to start standing up. And I got to say that from what I've heard, I haven't had a chance to see it. I've heard that my former colleagues at CNN all came out pretty unanimously, pretty strongly to support me. I understand. I believe that CNN released a statement. I've heard that CNN released a statement. Thank you very much. I have no animus for CNN. I have no animus for anyone, but I tell the truth as about what I see. And I think it's time for all journalists to stand up for each other. So I appreciate that. And look, at CNN, I worked with the best journalists in the world. So I wish them nothing but the best. But I believe those journalists as well need to stand up to the corporation. They need to tell Warner Brothers Discovery, stop playing and get your hands out of the newsroom. CBS needs to tell Paramount and David Ellison and whatever, get out of our newsroom. Get out of our journalism. Barry Weiss, take your hands off of it. Let the journalists be the journalists. All of them. That goes for every single corporate entity that owns a journalistic organization. Let the journalists be the journalists, because they're going to save our democracy if you just let them do it. The way to stand up to a bully, to a tyrant, is not to bend the knee. It's not to acquiesce. It is to metaphorically punch them right in the nose. And you need to introduce not only Donald Trump and the folks who work for him and his administration, but the corporate overlords and the gatekeepers. You need to introduce them to the word no. All the journalists, they cannot fire you. We were always taught when I worked in corporate media that the news is a star. That's bullshit. If the news was a star, everybody would have the same ratings. And everybody doesn't have the same ratings. The journalists are the stars. The people who are delivering the news, those are the stars. And the people who do well, they get the ratings and they get the respect. So it is, and actually having come from that, now I understand that what my star quality is, that is being honest and authentic and telling the truth. And I think that's, if everyone did that and they were not afraid of the powers that be, that's our motto. That's our mission. Just like a doctor, just like a lawyer, what we're supposed to do is hold the powerful to account and do no harm. And if you don't want to do harm to the American people, then stand up for democracy. Stand up for the First Amendment. So thank you so much. CNN journalists, I love you. Dana Bash, thank you. Jake, thank you. Aaron Burnett, thank you to all of the people over at CNN who I like. And thank you to the management and to who I worked with forever for putting out a statement. And thank you to the folks on MSNBC. Thank you to Scott Galloway and to everyone. I got a funny note from Anthony Scaramucci just a moment ago, and he said, "We were on your show today, but you weren't there. You must have been busy." So I appreciate that humor, Anthony. But for so many people who have come on, look, I just want to tell you that, I also want to thank all of the folks who are, the foreign journalists who are in war zones, it's just everyone. Thank you so much. I mean, my heart is, I am overwhelmed. I haven't had a chance to read but a few texts from folks. I just got off the phone with my mom for the first time, and she was worried, and my nieces and my family in Louisiana. And look, I got to thank some people who came to my rescue, and that's my husband, who had my back and who made sure that all of this was that it was handled properly and that my rights were not violated. I want to thank one of my dearest friends in the world and my agent, Jay Souris, who is there. And so Jay, I love you. Thank you. And Jay's wife, who just cooked me lunch because I haven't eaten for a while. And I want to thank, look, there's so many people. I don't even know how many people. And I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm not trying to leave anybody out. My attorney, Abby Lowell, is amazing, who put out this wonderful statement for me. Allison Gallus, who's my PR person, who put out this wonderful statement and created a war room for me, and a council, and a board of directors, so to speak, a board of advisors for me. So thank you, Allison. And thank you, Jeff Zucker, for saying that you've never been prouder of me. High praise from you, my friend. Thank you. And Monique, I can't thank you enough for being on the air. I don't know how long you've been on. I heard there were so many people. I heard that was Monique, I think Charles Coleman, and just a whole host of others. Everyone who has reached out. Let me see, Tim. And thank you to the social team, Chris. And by the way, I had just left one of the guys in the social team. We had gone to the Black Music Collective to do the red carpet, to talk to people about the importance of music and the arts in this time that we're in. And then we went to the Spotify to see the new artists who are coming up. And I was so proud of them because they are creating a space in this world. And I got to talk to them and a lot of influencers and a lot of young people. And that's where our future is. So I'm out here not just going to parties to party. I'm out here interviewing people and doing the work as a journalist. That's why I'm here. I'm here to do the Grammy red carpet. That's why I came, and not to, be at fancy parties or whatever, but to celebrate the First Amendment, the freedom of expression. So we'll see. Am I going to do? People have been asking me if am I still going to do the red carpet? I don't know. I'll see. If we can celebrate and promote the First Amendment, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. And I also want to thank my team. Last but not least, I saved the best for last. Well, not quite. I did thank my husband, but I just want to thank my team, who are just amazing. Thank you, Nikki and Peter and Andy. The best team in streaming. When we started this show, most of us, they hadn't. I think Peter and I were used to doing live because we came from cable news. But I don't know if Andy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and Nikki were, and we trained ourselves to do this show every single day, live, twice a day, at least 5 days a week, weekdays, and then sometimes on the weekends, and just to do network quality coverage. And you guys are just the best. I am so grateful and so fortunate to have you, and thank you so much. Monique, thank you for being my friend and my confidant, and someone I can call on and talk to when I'm in need. Thank you, my former executive producer, Maria Spinella, who reached out, so many people. And then my friends, my very dear friends, who are my chosen family, all the guys, and you know who you are, John and Carrie and Steve and Tarek and Darren, the two Darrens. Who am I missing? Mario and Stefan, Robert and Gunnar, just all of you guys. Thank you so much. And just dear friends and people that I haven't heard from for a long, long time. And I hope I didn't leave anybody out, but thank you so much. I'm going to go back and look at everything. But again, a special thank you to my former colleagues at CNN, because I know that you are the best journalists in the world and that you believe in our country and this democracy. As I said in my statement, I haven't seen anything. I have not seen this, but this is the statement that I ran when I left the courthouse today. And I want to play that, and then I'll be back in a second. Here it is. I want to thank everybody for their support. It truly means the world to me. I have no idea what's going on because obviously I haven't seen anything. I have spent my entire career covering the news. I will not stop now. In fact, there is no more important time than right now, this very moment, for a free and independent media that shines a light on the truth and holds those in power accountable. Again, I will not stop now. I will not stop ever. Last night, the DOJ sent a team of federal agents to arrest me in the middle of the night for something that I've been doing for the last 30 years, and that is covering the news. The First Amendment of the Constitution protects that work for me and for countless of other journalists who do what I do. I stand with all of them, and I will not be silenced.
I look forward to my day in court. Thank you all. And I reiterate those words. I look forward to my day in court, and I look forward to proving my innocence. I believe in my innocence, and I believe in our right, again, to a very free and viable First Amendment. And look, just to all of the reporters who have been targeted and who have gone through this before, I support you, and I thank you for your support. Like my colleague over at the Washington Post, whose home was raided and devices were confiscated. We need to stand up for all journalists. So I stand with you, and I humbly bow, and I am grateful for all of your support. Okay, so I am exhausted.
Okay, so
I
he's
am
wrapping up.
overwhelmed. I did not get much sleep, but I did get a little sleep, but not much. And by the way, so I'm going to be here. So hit the like, hit the thumbs up, become a member, support independent journalism, support independent journalists, support independent journalists. Become a member to the channel. Support all of us who are out here who are trying to tell the truth without fear or favor and without corporate influence. Okay? So thank you all, Lemonheads. I appreciate your love and your support. And as I say every single time when I log off here, okay? I want you to be informed without being inundated. Until I see you back here the next time, live here on the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel, here's what I really want you to do. Turn the TV off. Thanks so much for watching.
Interesting. Turn the TV off. Turn the TV off. Okay, Kendrick Lamar. Okay, Kendrick. So here's the thing, guys. I mean, obviously, he kind of did a whole thank you to a whole bunch of people, that kind of thing. And I get that. I mean, without him having the team that he had, there wouldn't have been a show as big as they had this morning. That show was massive. Okay. They had 20,000+ people watching their show at one time, because he had a whole panelist checking out, talking about everything, covering the news, because again, the news was hitting hard today. And we still have news to cover here, even after this whole conversation, this whole video here. But it does take a village. It does take a whole team to do what he was able to do on for this particular show. So I think that's really, really amazing that he's able to do that. Right now, the other thing is that obviously he still has he's still looking forward to his day in court. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes down. Right. It's going to be very interesting to see what goes on with that. And how this all goes down. Now, I'm still going to ask you guys, do you think that he was in the wrong for walking into that church? Or do you think what he did was completely fine and within the confines of First Amendment rights? See, this is the thing. I already know that this is splitting the room. Everybody and their mama has their opinions about it. Everyone thinks that, some people are just happy that he got arrested. They don't even care about whether or not what he did was illegal or not, whether or not he was, violating other people's constitutional rights or not. They're just happy that it's Don Lemon getting locked up. You know what I mean? They just don't like him. So they just instantly go, good. I hate his ass. Good. Lock his ass up. But here's the thing. Taking all that hate, taking all that vitriol and that BS, put it over to the side for a second, y'all, and think for yourself. Think for yourself. Take that bias and put it somewhere else. Because if it was somebody else and not Don Lemon, will you say the same doggone thing? Maybe not. Clearly, there's biases going on out here in these streets, going hard out here in the paint, out here in these streets. So the question is, hey, if this was somebody else, would you say that this is just or not? You got to remember, Trump, he really has a thing about things, especially when he gets in his fee-fees about somebody. If he don't like you, I don't like him. If he gets in that place where he does not like you, he will not sleep until he gets his revenge. That's what it is. He will exact revenge by any means necessary. We've already seen it in the past. This isn't our first rodeo now. But once Don Lemon's face was all up in the videos inside this church, during this time where they were protesters, not Don Lemon, but protesters were stopping Christians, good, wholesome Christians, from worshiping that day. Oh, that made Trump very, very mad. Somebody pissed in his cereal, and his name is Don Lemon. So what happens? He does everything he can to get on to Pam Bondi and say, you better get his ass by any means necessary. And now they did. They found a loophole, something. They talked to a judge. Maybe that judge was, doing something else. Got caught doing something and they bribed him, blackmailed him, whatever it is. You never know. You never know. To get that judge to go, okay, fine. Throw him in jail. Charge him with these particular charges, right? Now, I'm telling you right now, I see that Don's going to be fine. I truly think that Don's going to be fine. But we'll see, right? I guess pissed in his cereal doesn't work. Maybe it's not cereal. Maybe pissed in his large Diet Coke, maybe. You know what I mean? Or ate half of his Big Mac and half of his fries. Would that work? Is that better? Then that would make him very angry, right? That would make him really angry. But then he'll be every day as he's sitting there on that porcelain throne, every morning and every night, he'll just be like, I just got to tell you, Don Lemon, professional agitator, Don Lemon. You know what I'm saying? Just like we see with Ilhan Omar, just like what we see with every single time that he has been solely obsessed about that one particular person, putting out tweets saying that these people are terrible, so on and so forth. We've seen it countless times, guys. So now Don is on his list, which is terrible. Sad. But I think Don Lemon is going to be fine. We'll see how things transpire. But here's the other thing too. I just want to point this out. This is only going to catapult Don Lemon's career. Do you realize that, right? See, like I said, this is like the same show, just a different season, and they're trying to do the same themes over and over again. And you're like, I've been seeing this show already. It's like you've seen. It's like watching Dexter. Yeah, I said it. Sorry. I know some people are like, love that show, Dexter. But it's the same damn show. Just different characters. There's always a new target every episode. And he goes out, he hunts, he does his thing, right? He's a vigilante for serial killers. We know this, right? Dexter Morgan, right? But every episode's the doggone same. Cast of characters are different all the time. So this second season, the second term, Trump. We're in the second year now. I guess we're venturing in the second year now. Cast of characters a little different. Instead of last time, you had like Gina Carano or whatever her name was, okay, getting absolutely crucified on the internet because she was trying to compare the poke cards to I think it was like the Star of David, okay? And so she got crucified. But what happened to her? She was able to get new gigs through Daily Wire, through the very right-wing type of content, and she did just fine. What about all these other people that have stepped forward, against like, trans in sport, trans athletes in sports, or anything of that sort, right? That have just lost their job or something of that sort. And then suddenly out of nowhere, they get an even better job through some hardcore right-wing entity or business. We've seen it a billion times, It's kind of like the Hawk Tuah girl, that type of situation, without being the Hawk Tuah girl. It's the, anti-mask person that suddenly becomes a superstar, and then all of a sudden they're making crazy amounts of money online because they said no to the demands of wearing a mask. We've seen it a million times, guys. We've seen it. We've seen it. They say one thing and they become huge and popular. Next thing you know, they got a podcast and they're selling t-shirts. We've seen it a million times before. But all of that has happened on the right. Now, we in a second season, brand new season, but we had a 4-year hiatus, kind of like Stranger Things, you know, like we all hit puberty, you know, we all get that peach fuzz, had a growth spurt, but we all still supposed to be acting like we 9 years old. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. And now everything's different because now we're in the upside down and all the people, instead of it being right-wing stuff, we're dealing with left-wing stuff. See? Whole different season. Same cast of characters, same themes, just new faces. And now we got Don Lemon. He gonna blow up off of this. We've already seen this before, guys. The left will hoist him on his shoulders, and he will be just fine. Kind of like what happened in the first term with MAGA. They scooped up everybody. Oh, snap. Oh, my dear God. Oh, dear God. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh, especially back in the day, if you were black, you came out and you said, okay, this is my coming out story. I'm no longer Democrat. I support MAGA. What happens? They get ostracized by the left. And MAGA comes in going, hey, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know? And then they make crazy money. They make t-shirts and they have podcasts. And they have a huge YouTube channel. So channels. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. I'm not crazy. You just take a step out and just take a look at these 5 years now. Trump's 4 with this 1 year. Just look at how weird and things have shifted. MAGA back in the day was basically saying, how dare you tell us what to do, wearing this is my body, my rights, right? Wearing the mask, etc., right? And then now it's a completely different situation. Completely different situation. Back then it was 2A all day. My gun, my rights, my body, my rights. Don't tell me what to do. Then you go over here now and they're like, well, he had a gun, so that's what he gets. Huh? Honestly, I know some people are going to be like, man, Pascal, I hate you. All I'm doing is stating facts. I am stating the obvious. But like I said, Don Lemon is going to be just fine. He's going to be just fine. Because now he's going to go on that Grammy red carpet, which I am going to watch the hell out of it now. And they're literally going to be like, oh, baby, are you okay? You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be, you know, anybody who's left is going to be loving it and loving him. And he going to be fine. Like I said, he going to be fine. He going to capitalize on this situation as best as he can. And the rest is history. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy. Now, somebody requested me to cover this, so we're going to cover it, okay? Because we haven't talked about the Epstein files recently, and there's been a crazy dump, okay? 3 million pages of documents. We have over 2,000 videos that are out that I have not seen yet, okay? In fact, the full prison video apparently has been released as well. We will be looking at that at some point, maybe not tonight, okay? But we will be looking at it probably over the course of this weekend because there's so much stuff. But now you got things about like, yeah, Elong, okay, Elong being like, yo, so tell me about your parties on your island, man. Kind of weird, okay? There's also other stuff that we got to take a look at. Somebody requested me to bring this up, so we're going to bring it up. Jeffrey Epstein scouted women for Giants owner Steve Tisch. New emails revealed by DOJ claim Oh my God. Working girls. Yes. Owner of the Giants, Steve Tisch, apparently was reaching out to Epstein to be like, yo, let me get that hookup though. Yeah. Yeah, guys. Let's take a look at this. Slowly but surely, these names are starting to come out. And he said, and I guess I can understand why Trump was like, I don't want to hurt it. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want to get anybody hurt. Well, here's another one. We already heard about Robin Leach, right? Lifestyles of the rich and famous, right? That guy. And a bunch of other people as well. Bill Gates with his nasty little peener, right? You got Bill Gates. Bill Gates going out there. You know, his gates are open. You know what I'm saying? He apparently let anybody through those gates. You feel me? Okay, and possibly gave something to his own doggone wife, his then wife. And he tried to hide that by getting trying to get antibiotics so he could slip them to his wife without her knowing. Like I said, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? You're going to just, every day, you're going to be like, she's like, oh, good morning, hon. And he's just running to the kitchen. Let me make you your smoothie. Let me make you a smoothie. She's like, babe, I'm going to have eggs. Really? Damn it. Okay. I'll make you eggs. And he's trying to figure out how to put this damn antibiotic in the mother-loving eggs. Like, that's what his plan was. Because apparently he was burning. He got burned. Okay? Why does it hurt when I pee? You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to hide that from his own doggone wife. Gates were open, baby. He let a lot of Russians in, apparently. I'm sorry. He got burnt. Yeah. Maybe that's the reason why the wife said, I'm done. But at the same time, that happened 8 years before the divorce. So the money must have been talking. You know what I'm saying? It took her 8 whole years to say, deuces. Let's be real. 8 whole mother-loving years. 8 before she filed and divorced that scrawny little way. Okay? Him with his diseased little weed whacker walking around, sticking it in other cookie jars that he shouldn't be putting his hands in. Okay? So something must have kept her around. It's called money. Or she was trying to plan an exit out that took 8 whole years, which I don't understand. Because, a divorce is not like planning the great escape. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Prison Break from a relationship, from a marriage. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. The burnt moment, the burnt saucisse, okay, down below, should have been divorce. That should have been grounds for divorce enough, like that. But no, the burnt saucisse didn't bother nothing for a while. I guess not, because it was burnt. Saucisse. But moving on, here we go. Deceased S tier, the monster piece of trash. Yeah, he left he left receipts, which is crazy. Now he's burning everybody, and not their saucisses, but he's burning a lot of people, man. Okay, Angela, no, maybe, but that's weird, right? Stand by your man. Why would you do that? Why would you stick around? What? Just stand next? I stand with him. I stand with him. You know what I'm saying? That's weird. You still got that itch. You just moving around, trying to itch, trying to scratch that itch in your seat without actually scratching it. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. He's got a burnt saucisse. The saucisse is burnt. Saucisse burnt. And she's still stuck around. That's crazy. Let me get into this. Okay. So Epstein sought to set up businessman Steve Tisch with various women. with the New York Giants owner inquiring about whether one of them was a working girl. The exchange occurred in June of 2013. Series of emails about a Tahitian woman named Emily who speaks mostly French. Exotic, Epstein noted. Working girl? Tish asked, to which Epstein responded incoherently. Blah, blah, blah. That's what it's. Don't know what that means. The confidential email conversation between the financier and football owner had begun in April of that year, according to documents the DOJ released on Friday, today. So the New York Times first reported these emails. There he is. He does look little. He looks like the Grinch that stole Christmas. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Does he not? Okay. Maybe not. An albino Grinch that stole Christmas. I'm done. Move on. Okay, so Friday, everybody. It's Friday. It's Friday. You know, what will I wear? You know what I mean? Very, okay. Albino, sans, green. Moving on. He says, so Tish wrote this. I just had lunch with your assistant's friend who I met at your house Wednesday morning. So he said that on April 26th of that year. Very sweet girl. Do you know anything about her? No, but I will ask. Then it's in parentheses, all confidential. I will get all confidential. I will get all info. Did you contact that great ass fake teat? She's a character. Short term. Has an older brother. Remember, his grammar is tragic. Okay? He should have been locked up for murdering the English language in written form. Okay? He does not know grammar. I don't know how he processed life in general, but let's continue. So he says, no, but I will ask, all confidential. So it will be between you and me. Okay. I'll get all the info. Did you contact that great ass fake tit? She's a character. Short term, has an older boyfriend going to acting school. A 10 ass. Epstein responded that with the same day. Continuing, he says, I'm happy to have you as a new, but obviously such and such shared interest friend. Like I said, grammar is not his strongest suit. So he said, I'm happy to have you as a new, like maybe a new client, but obviously such and such shared interest friend. So maybe another person shared interest in this girl with a great ass. So that's what happened here. So curious to know about redacted. This is what Tish sent in another email. Okay, so it says like Ukrainian girl. I will contact pro or civilian, he asked. Do you want to know if she is as sweet as she seems? Boyfriends, trustworthy, etc. She is earnest. Redacted is a civilian, but Russian, and rarely tells the truth, but fun. That's what Epstein said. He followed up and also asked the Giants number for a number to call. He followed up and asked Giants owner for a number to call. Again, okay? I don't like records of these conversations, This is what Epstein wrote. Okay. So Epstein later relayed that the unidentified woman had reported back to him about the intended meetup. You did very well, Epstein told Tish, apparently referencing or referring to the phone call. She wants to go to the play. She is a little freaked by the age difference, but go slow and watty, I guess, and wait, I think. I will try to convince her not to return to Ukraine. Having her crying worked. So then Tish laughed back in another message, says, nice report, funny comment on crying. Emails were part of a trove of 3.5 million pages of documents put out by the DOJ on Friday today in response to a law that President Trump signed on November 19th. Like I said, now they say 3.5 million pages, 3.5 million pages of documents, okay? And we already know what happened to Epstein. He gone, okay? He gone. Whether he did it himself or somebody else did it to him, that is up for grabs. Now, Tish, 76, took over the Giants in 2005 after his father had purchased a majority stake in the team in 1991. The younger Tish had previously produced Oscar winner Forrest Gump. Oh, no! I love that movie. No! As well as Hollywood star Tom Cruise's breakout film Risky Business, which is about you know what I'm talking about. That's about S workers too, is it not? Rebecca De Mornay. Oh my God, that just came back out of nowhere. Rebecca De Mornay, Hand That Rocks the Cradle chick, and Tom Cruise were in a movie together, right? And that's Risky Business, and it's about him running a thing, right? Isn't he running like a little Epstein thing in his crib? Ain't it what that movie's about? Right? Okay, moving on. Other emails in the DOJ disclosures show that Tish even corresponded with Epstein about women at other times while in NFL meetings. So while he's doing business, he's still thinking about that. Hey, interesting. Some discussions focus on the possibility of the Giants owner giving the girls a leg up in their acting careers. That is the worst play on of words, but okay. A leg up. Get it? Hi, dear Jeffrey. How are you? Asked the woman, Paulina, something Polish, I guess, in a March 16th, 2014 email to Epstein. Gonna meet Steve Tish next week for dinner. He said that he's going to work on 3 movies starting June. So I'll ask if I could read scripts and maybe audition for some part. When do you want to visit? I will be at my ranch with Woody Allen from the 22nd to the 26th in New Mexico. This is what Epstein replied. Hanging out with Woody Allen, which is, it's funny he said Woody Alien, but Woody Allen is yeah, that's not great either. Did Woody Allen not cheat on his wife with their adoptive daughter? Did he not do that as well? Oh, God. All of these people are dirty, dirty, dirty birds. All of them. Hamburger. Neither he nor a rep for the Giants immediately responded to requests for comment. Oh, my damn. This is insane. So you got the Giants owner, Steve Tish, asking about whether or not the girls that he showed interest in was a pro or if she was just a regular girl. And of course, the fact that he had to say that out loud shows you proof positive that this is not Steve Tish's first rodeo in having a conversation with the man named Epi. That's it. And he produced Forrest Gump, man. Now that's forever burned in my brain. So now when I'm, watching the movie with the freaking feather and stuff, I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't wait for this journey. Oh, he worked with Epstein. I can't watch the movie. Now I can't. Without being like, oh, the producer of this movie also was a dirty whore bag. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one who could sit there and life's like a box of chocolates? And I'm just going like, he's a whore. You know what I'm saying? The producer was dirty, Like now you open up Windows and you could be like, ooh, burnt saucisse. Burnt saucisse, Bill Gates. Burnt saucisse. You know what I'm saying? Am I the only one who's going to be seeing that now? Am I the only one? Okay, I guess I'm the only one. That's fine. It's like I can't watch House of Cards anymore because of Kevin Spacey. And it was great. It was a great show. It was great. It was a fantastic show. But now I can't watch that show no more. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, no. You know what I mean? Like American Beauty, great movie. Can't watch that anymore. Now it's weird. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, the movie is really creepy, really crazy. If you go and replay that movie again now, American Beauty, if you want to, rewatch it again. He becomes obsessed with a 16-year-old girl. It's weird. But when I first saw it, I was like, this is a great movie. The things that were okay back then that you go and rewatch again, you're like, oh my God, we watched that movie? We watched that movie. That movie made so many Emmys and awards, got so many awards. I can't watch it the same anymore. It's not the same anymore. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. So now, yeah, even 7 too, but he's a creeper in that, so that works for me. Because I'm like, yep, that's him. You know what I mean? He's a creeper. So 7 works for me. I'm like, that's in his wheelhouse. Go ahead. He's showing his true colors. You know what I'm saying? Except, he's not out here like murking people, but you get what I'm saying. He's a creepazoid. Sorry, he is. So that movie, I'm like, that's fine. That's him. We're just seeing his true self. I digress. We got to get into this other piece, which is crazy because now we're hearing other names that are being put into these files as well. The likes of Jay-Z. Yeah. Apparently Jay-Z and Pusha T have been thrown into the conversation with these Epstein files as well. No joke. Let's take a look at this, guys. This is crazy. Take a look at this. Take a good look. Take a gander, love. So here's one. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Each occasion believed she was given something, clouding her memory. Such and such attributed to giving this person substances as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, whom she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, such and such, redacted, identified the artist Pusha T. Or Pusha T, not Pusher T. Pusha T, okay? In approximately 2007, redacted, attended a party. I guess at this particular address, maybe, following invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down the street. Weinstein, Harvey of the Harvey clan, Harvey Weinstein, and Pusha T also attended the party and slipped her something, okay, before engaging in SA. She claims to have additional information on other persons involved in the enterprise and in information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. So redacted further believes she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved in this SA. So Harvey Weinstein and Pusha T. She also confirmed she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. So she's saying, I ain't crazy. I'm not losing my mind. I did not make this up. This is not a fabrication. This is what really happened. So redacted refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. So she's hopping around. She's nomadic. Let's just say that. Moving on. Here's another one. Or I think this is the start of it. Oh, shoot. Maybe that's the start of it. Hold on. That must be the start of it. Eastern Standard Time, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Called the FBI. Okay. So this particular, let me just read the beginning of it. I'm sorry. This is backwards. My apologies. So such and such called the FBI National Threat Operations Center, NTOC, to identify herself as a victim of SA by Jeffrey Epstein and others. Such and such provided the following information. Approximately 1994, she revealed herself to such and such, redacted, as a past victim of SA by Epstein. Redaction described the attacks occurring during parties. Redaction further identified as a friend of such and such. In approximately 1996, Redaction resided in this particular place, in this particular area. An unknown man abducted such and such, Redaction, from her home, whence she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into, I'm assuming, into her. Redaction believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Redaction estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. So she suffered from SA on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. Redaction recalled Leon Black and William Barr, current U.S. Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of these attacks. So then in approximately 2006, she last recalled being attacked by Epstein. And of course, on each occasion, she believed to be substanced and of course, clouding her memory. So here's the thing. So she's going in and out of memory, right? So this is also somebody who doesn't live in doesn't have a permanent home address. She is hopping from hotel to hotel, during the time of this report. Mind you, this is in July of 2019 when this all came out. Okay, let me just get this right. Yep, July of 2019. She's saying that she was given substances and then she was in and out of consciousness. She says that she was taken, abducted multiple times, but she was so out of it from being given X, Y, and Z that she was coming in and out of consciousness, so she doesn't remember, clearly everything. But she does say that Harvey Weinstein, Leon Black, William Barr, U.S. Attorney General William Barr, okay, at that time, Jay-Z, Harvey Weinstein, Pusha T, all were a part of these disgusting, deplorable acts of sexual violence on this girl. Now, let me just say this really quick. I've already said this ad nauseum before, but I'm going to say it again. We have covered this like Diddy before, where we have multitudes of people that come out, alleged victims, that say that they experienced something really terrible and all that. Some are just so wild that you're like, how could that even be true, right? But some things can be stranger than fiction. That could truly be true. But at the same time, we have to take all of these allegations with a grain of salt. Here's the other thing, too. This is the thing that really aggravates me, is that none of these claims, according to Jizzy, okay, Ghislaine, okay, she says that None of these things were ever investigated. None of them. None of these things, these claims, these complainants, these phone calls, these confessions, none of these things were ever investigated. They were just written and put aside, and that's it. So you got potential monsters and people who are telling the truth. You got people who are lying, and you got people who are potentially telling the truth. And we don't even know who's telling the truth and who's not. And that is a huge problem, because the higher ups, the elite, okay, you got the Department of Justice, you got the FBI, CIA, whoever, they're not doing their due diligence. There is no due process in any of these filings. They just filed them up and just put them over on the side. Remember what happened several weeks ago when they were supposed to be dropping a whole lot of information, and they didn't? They just sat on it because of one thing. They said, oh my gosh, Eureka, we just found new files, 1 million more files. Remember that crap? Remember that BS that came out of their freaking mouths? Yeah. What are they doing with all that? Are they actually doing proper investigation? Are they doing their due diligence? Or are they just filing it, redacting it, and just letting it get out here for people to see? Because that's what the people asked for, and it has been written into law. They need to put all this stuff out. But that doesn't mean that they have to do any investigation into any of this crap, which is sad. So we got all this stuff coming out, majority of them could be fugazis. They could all be fake news with maybe a tenth of them being true, without anyone actually seeking justice for any of these victims. Like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's 3.5 million documents that still need to be sifted through. 2,000 videos that still need to be seen. By the way, I can't help but point one more thing out real quick before we start wrapping up this show. There's one thing I cannot walk away from that is really bothering me. Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, came up and did a press conference. He said a whole bunch of stuff. He said, we're dropping 3 million documents, 2,000 videos, hundreds of photos, okay, and a partridge in a pear tree. But outside of that, he said some things there. Not only did they say, we did not give you guys the really bad stuff where it has to do with, photos depicting very strange, very unthinkable things with children, okay? He also said photos that depict death. Just let that sink in for us. I gotta hit it because my fingers really So he said it out loud. He said it. You know what? Let me show you proof positive. I want to make sure you see it because I don't want it to seem like I'm some crazy mother lover. Okay. We just gotta go back. We just gotta go back and take a look at that. Just real quick. He says it real fast in the beginning too.
Good morning.
I want you
President Trump signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act into law on November 19th, 2025, directing the Department of Justice to produce all documents, files, records, videos, and images related to the investigations and prosecutions of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. I'm here today to talk about the department's compliance with its production obligations under the Act. Around, I think right now, and continuing throughout the day-to-day, as the indexing and uploading completes, we are producing responsive materials under the Act. We are also releasing today a letter we are transmitting to Congress and various internal protocols associated with our review. I want to take a moment to thank the professionals at the Department of Justice.
Hold on. We're going to skip ahead of this crap
to get to where we are. The Deputy Attorney General's Office of Security Division, the District of New York, to the American people. Across all those divisions that I just, Christmas, New Year's, putting bad guys in jail and effectuating the mission to protect them. including more than, in total, that means that the department produced approximately 3.5 million pages in
3.5
compliance with
million.
the Act. Just a quick note about the videos and images. The 2,000 videos and 180,000 images are not all videos and images taken by Mr. Epstein or someone around him. They include large quantities of commercial pornography and images that were seized from Epstein's devices, but which he did not take or that someone around him did not take. Some of the videos, though, and some of the images do appear to be taken by Mr. Epstein or by others or around him. Now, I want to talk for a few minutes about the department's document identification and review protocols. It consisted of multiple layers of review and quality control designed to ensure compliance under the Act and protect victims. On top of the review protocols that the department had in place, the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York employed an additional review protocol to ensure compliance with a court order requiring United States Attorney Jay Clayton to certify that with respect to certain materials, a large quantity of the materials, a rigorous process was undertaken to protect victims against any clearly unwarranted invasion of their personal privacy. The department's collection effort resulted in more than 6 million pages being identified as potentially responsive, including department and FBI emails, interview summaries, images, videos, and various other materials collected and generated during the various investigations and prosecutions that the Act covered. We erred on the side of over-collection of materials from various sources to best ensure maximum transparency and compliance, which necessarily means that the number of responsive pages is significantly smaller than the total number of pages initially collected. That's why I mentioned a moment ago, we're releasing more than 3 million pages today and not the 6 million pages that we collected.
Now, first off, they have 6 million pages and so there's another close to 3 million pages that we're never going to see, that they're withholding that information. Why?
I want to address what we didn't produce.
Here we go.
The categories of documents withheld include those permitted under the Act to be withheld: files that contain personally identifiable information of victims or victims' personal and medical files, and similar files, the disclosure of which would constitute a clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy.
Okay.
Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded.
Big time.
Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury. Anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury.
So, who died? Oh, son of a gun. I'm still here, dagnabbit. I'm still here, kids. But who did it? Huh? Who did? Who did? Who gone? So and he just said it like, no, come on now. Hold up now. He said it.
Also,
he said it like it was nothing. He said it like it was nothing, bruh.
That depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced.
Whatever. That's a lot to be said. The kid stuff, that's one thing. Still just disgusting and deplorable. The fact that they have, thousands or hundreds of photos of that kind of stuff and videos and stuff like that, right? But then also you're talking about death, though. Are we talking about snuff films? Are we talking about that? What the hell's going on here? Why isn't anybody asking that question? Why am I the only one who noticed that? Why am I the only one who noticed that piece of information that is, in my personal opinion, pretty important, don't you think? They're talking about muerte. So what's up with that? Am I the only one who sees this as strange? Who passed away? Who's gone? Who did they unalive? Is what Sasha Riley said in this huge, scathing, unbelievable, jaw-dropping interview, is what he said true? And should we be listening to Sasha Riley's interview even more now? Because he said some things that are insane in there. So again, come on now. Come on. He said it right there, guys. He said it right there. He would not mention muerte like that if it wasn't in there. He wouldn't sit there and go, well, you know, it didn't list it off. Why would he list it off? That makes no sense. There would be no need for him to list that off, guys. Zero need. So that's a little weird, don't you think? Or I'm the only one who thinks that's weird. Let's get into these super chats. Right, thank you so much for the love. We show up in Minneapolis, driving down in the AM. That's what's up. Yeah, there's going to be protests all throughout the weekend. Trust and believe. Snoop. Oh, wrong one. Snoop and Belina. Thank you so much for becoming members. Welcome to the family. And Norman, what up? Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Welcome to the family, all 5 of you guys. Dang, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Norman, thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. Put some purple heart emojis for those of y'all who just became members. Put some purple heart emojis in the chat for Norman, okay? And for those of y'all who just became new members, welcome to the family, all of you guys, okay? The ones that just became, just decided to become members, and for those who just became got gifted it. Okay, welcome to the family. And all I ask for you guys to do is pay it forward. Open the door for somebody. Be nice to somebody out here in these streets. Okay, we need a lot more love right now. Okay, Kathy, thank you so much. Did you know that ICE bought immigration detention centers in Surprise, Arizona, for 1,000 immigrants, or 1,500? I'm sorry, immigrants. Interesting. They paid $70 million cash. Terrible. Be safe. That's insane. If that's true, that's insane. I'm gonna have to look that up when I get done with the show. That's crazy, and scary. Allie, thank you so much. Was a grand jury. No judge would sign off. Ah, okay. Well, you're talking about the Don Lemon situation, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's good information to know. Thank you, Dolores. Thank you so much for the super sticker, or super chat, or super sticker. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Dolores. Man, what a crazy day. And it's only going to get crazier. Be on the lookout, guys, because I will be popping on throughout the weekend to cover things. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to cover. And, you know, if anything's popping off a little bit later on tonight, I might be on a little bit later on tonight. Just be ready for it, okay? But that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. Do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush the do it to do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on these other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, X/Twitter, it's the other places, okay? I can't say it right now. Go and follow, okay? I'm on all the mugs, all right? Rumble, Kick, Twitch, all of them. Subscribe, follow. Subscribe here on my main channel, please and thank you. Go check out my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Subscribe over there as well. That would be amazing if you could show some support, simply hitting that subscribe button over there too. Hit that notification bell here and on over there. Set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because honestly, it is random, okay? Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon, and of course, check out pascalmerch.com. pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Go check it out. pascalmerch.com. thepascalshow.com. All right, guys, it's time to get going. Stay safe out there. If you are protesting, please make sure you're protesting peacefully so you can wake up the next day and keep making your voice heard out here in these streets. Please do it peacefully. Other than that, have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.